Welcome to the first class of the new Power 20 series. If you have blocks, you can set them at the top of your mat and we will get started today in downward facing dog. And take a few moments here to land. You can maybe pedal out through the legs, shake the head yes and no. Generous bend in the knees as you lengthen the hips up and back. And creating a little more length through the spine, a little more space through the heart, beginning to wake up through the hamstrings. A few more breaths here. Whenever you feel ready, you can inhale, the right leg will lift, three-legged dog. Then maybe bend your knee, stack your hips. You can bend and straighten the leg, maybe circles with the knee or ankle. Just beginning to open up through this right side. When you feel ready, we'll step the right foot between the hands, high crescent lunge. First time on this side, so maybe hands to hips to start. You can bring feet about hip width distance for a little more stability. Maybe take a couple pulses here, sinking the hips up and down, making sure your right knee is stacked up over right ankle. If you're not already there, option to inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. On your exhale, relax shoulders away from ears, maybe sink the hips a little deeper. One more full breath in, lengthen up and out of the ribs. On your exhale, we'll make our way to what I'm going to call a pyramid plane. Straighten the right leg, sweep the arms back to airplane. And pause here for a few breaths, making a little triangle shape with the legs. Soft bend in the right knee as you draw the right hip back to square the hips forward. Keep squeezing the pinkies in towards one another, and then lengthen the crown of the head forward, maybe even working your chest parallel towards the mat. We're going to flow this between a high crescent lunge and a pyramid plane. So on your inhale, shift the weight back forward, bend into your right leg, sweep the arms up overhead, maybe even lift your gaze, find a back bend. On your exhale, pyramid plane, sweep the arms back, straighten the right leg, lengthen the chest forward. A few more just like that at your own pace. As you inhale, we'll meet in a high crescent lunge, maybe find a little pause. And as you exhale, sweep the arms back, straighten the leg, keep that length in the spine. About one or two more breaths here at your own pace. Next time you're in that pyramid plane, we'll pause here. Sweep the arms back. Again, squeeze the pinky, shoulder blades in towards one another. Keep drawing the right hip back in space to square the hips forward. Think about reaching the collarbone towards the top edge of the mat. One more full breath in. Here's the change, standing split. Release the hands to mat or block. Frame the right foot. Strong on the right leg, left leg begins to lift. Keep melting your chest down towards the right thigh, and then keep pressing down into the right leg to lengthen that left foot up and back. Two more breaths here. Maybe you play with the balance, one hand around the ankle, maybe both. One more full breath in. Feet together, forward fold. You can find a ragdoll here, maybe heel toe the feet out a little bit wider, about hip width distance or maybe shoulder distance. And soft bend in the knees, let the head hang heavy. About one or two more breaths here. Option to stay or maybe take a few breaths in Malasana, a yogi squat. So heels in, toes out, bend your knees, sink your hips, hands come to prayer. Keep opening up through the chest, maybe working to stack shoulders over hips. Keep the gaze lifted. One more full breath in. And on your exhale, plant the hands. You can step or jump back, chaturanga, high to low plank. Breath into upward facing. Breath out, downward facing. Full breath in. Full breath out. Other side, inhale, left leg will lift. You can bend your knee, stack your hips. Any little movement that you need through this side to open up through the left hip. And take your time when you're ready. Left foot between the hands, high crescent lunge. First time on this side, so again, any little movements. Maybe take some pulses, maybe hands to hips to start. Left knee stacked up over left ankle this time. If you're not already there, on your inhale, maybe sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, maybe bend into your left leg, sink the hips a little deeper. Can you stay active through both feet, so pressing also into the ball of the right foot to square the hips forward. One more inhale, lengthen up. On your exhale, pyramid plane, straighten the left leg, sweep the arms back, lengthen the chest forward. A few more just like that as you inhale. Come back into that high crescent lunge, maybe lift your gaze, explore a little back bend. And as you exhale, pyramid plane, sweep the arms back, lengthen the chest forward. 1 to 2 more breaths here, your own pace. Next time you're in that pyramid plane, we'll pause here, straighten the legs, sweep the arms back. Pausing here for a few breaths. Can you root down into the feet? And then draw the left hip back as you reach the crown of the head forward. Maintain that length and strength in the spine. One more full breath in. Here's that change, standing split, release the hands, frame the left foot, you can bring them to blocks. Strong in the left leg, right leg begins to lift. A few breaths here. Keep lengthening the chest down towards that left quad. Then reaching the right foot up overhead. Option to play with the balance, one hand around the ankle, maybe both, or hands to prayer. 1 to 2 more breaths. One more full breath in. And on your exhale, feet together, forward fold. A few breaths here. Option for ragdoll. You can take a second set of malasana. Or option for a crow pose this time. If you'd like to take the arm balance, you'll plant the hands about shoulder distance out in front. Spread your fingers out wide, finding that base, that foundation. Knees will work their way into the triceps. Then begin to shift the weight forward, maybe just a little bit lighter on the toes, or maybe you shift all the way forward, coming into our crow. Keep the core tight if you're in that arm balance. Wherever you are, when you feel ready, you can step or maybe jump back, chaturanga, high to low plank. Breath into upward facing. Breath out, downward facing. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. We'll take this and we'll add on. So on your next inhale, right leg will lift. This time crunch in, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Breathe in, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose and pause. Can you press the floor away? And maybe lift your right heel, draw that thigh just a little bit closer and towards the chest. Carefully, right foot between the hands, high crescent lunge. Inhale brings you up. On your exhale, sink the hips, maybe settle a little deeper. One more full breath in, lengthen up and out of the ribs. Here's the change. We're going to take an open twist right. Right fingers reach back, left fingers reach forward. So open twist here, keep drawing the right shoulder back. Gaze can stay over towards the right edge of the mat or maybe bring it across the right shoulder. Keep pressing strong through both legs, especially through the ball of the left foot to keep that left leg engaged, square the hips forward. Keep your twist. We'll inhale to exalt. Left fingers lengthen up towards the sky, right hand reaches down towards the mat. Again, notice the engagement of the legs. Press a little more into the left foot to square the left hip point forward. One more full breath in. On your exhale, pyramid plane, you can begin to windmill the arms forward and then begin to sweep them back. As you straighten the right leg, lengthen the hips back, reach the chest forward. Pause here for a breath. Maintain the length as you reach the fingertips back towards the end of the mat. Your choice, you can take a standing split or toppling tree this time. For toppling tree, we'll keep our arms to airplane. And wherever you are, we'll shift the weight strong on the right leg. Left leg begins to lift as you dive the chest down towards that right thigh. A few more breaths here. Keep pressing down strong to the right leg as you lengthen that left leg up and back, and then reach the chest down. If you're not already there, we'll plant the hands, frame the right foot. We'll step it back into a low runner's lunge. Bend into your right leg, step the left leg back. Pause here in that low runner's lunge. This time, dragon twist. Left hand to the inside of the right foot. Right fingers reach up towards the sky. Your choice, you can choose to stay here or find a side plank. Right leg up and over. Stacking feet together, or option to take side plank on forearms and knees. Wherever you are, if you're in that side plank, can you press down, lift your hips a little higher, maybe even lift your top leg. Wherever you are, maybe bring the gaze up past the right fingertips. One more full breath in. And on your exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Breath into upward facing. Breath out, downward facing. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Other side, inhale, left leg will lift. Exhale, crunch knee to chin. Breathe in, sweep it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to forehead and pause. Again, press the floor away. Can you draw that left thigh in a little bit closer and towards the chest? Create some space. Foot between the hands, high crescent lunge. Inhale, lifts you up to standing. Find a little pause here. Maybe settle into the feet, settle into the hips. One more full breath in, lengthen up and out of the ribs. Here's that change. On your exhale, we'll take an open twist left. Left fingers back, right fingers reach forward. Soft bend in the elbows, and then think about reaching fingers towards opposite ends of the room. Staying active through the upper back, opening up through the chest as you draw that left shoulder back. Maybe the gaze follows. Keep your twist. Inhale to exalt. Windmill the right arm up towards the sky as you reach the left fingers down. A few breaths here. Can you open up through both sides of the ribs? Maybe bring the gaze up past the right hand and try to keep that length. Here's that transition, pyramid plane. You can windmill the arms forward and then sweep them back to airplane as you straighten the left leg. Keep drawing that left hip back in space and reach the fingers back behind you. Option here, toppling tree or standing split. If you're taking that toppling tree, keep the arms lengthened back to airplane. As you reach the chest forward, strong in the left leg, right leg begins to lift. Wherever you are, keep pressing strong to the left leg as you lengthen that right heel up and back. 2 more breaths. Keep melting the chest down towards that left thigh. If you're not already there, we'll release the hands, frame the left foot. Low runner's lunge. Bend into your left leg, step that right leg back. Pause here for a breath. Can you find the length as you open up through the chest towards the top edge of the mat? Dragon twist. Right hand to the inside of the left foot. Left fingers open up towards the sky. Maybe the gaze lifts. You can choose to stay here or option to find that side plank, left leg up and over. A few more breaths here. Can you press down, squeezing through that right oblique as you lift the hips, maybe lift your gaze, option, maybe even lift your top leg. One more full breath in. And on your exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Breath into upward facing. Breath out, downward facing. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take this and add on. On your next breath, right leg will lift. Foot between the hands, high crescent lunge. Inhale lifts you up. On your exhale, sink the hips a little deeper. One more full breath in, lengthen up and out of the ribs. On your exhale, open twist right fingers back, left fingers forward. Inhale to exalt, so keep your twist, reach the left fingers up towards the sky, maybe lift your gaze. This time, toppling tree or standing split. You can windmill the arms down or behind you as you shift the weight forward, strong in the right leg, left leg lifts. Here's the change. This time, Shiva squat. You can plant the hands if you'd like, maybe hands to prayer. Bend your knees and then bring your left knee to touch the back of the right calf. Inhale, straighten the legs, come back into that standing split or toppling tree. 2 more times, Shiva squat. Exhale, bend your knees, reach down. Inhale, lengthen up. 1 more time, exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen up, toppling tree or standing split. Pause here for a breath. Feet together, forward fold. Breath into halfway lift, flat spine. And on your exhale, forward fold. Adding on, inhale, right leg in towards the chest, one-legged mountain. And take your time, figure 4, bring that right leg across, bend your knees, sink your hips. About 2 or 3 more breaths here. You can play, maybe add a twist. And slowly begin to unwind, come back into that one-legged mountain, right leg in towards the chest. Maybe extend that right heel forward, straighten the leg, keep the core tight. Just passing through warrior 3. Send your right leg back. You can airplane the arms behind you if you'd like, working towards that capital letter T. Keep strong through the core. High crescent lunge, bend into your left leg, step it back, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Straight to the other side, 1 more full breath in. This time open twist left fingers back, right fingers forward. Breath in to exalt, reach the right hand up overhead, maybe lift your gaze. On your exhale, toppling tree or standing split. You can windmill the arms behind you or maybe plant the hands. Strong in the left leg, right leg begins to lift. Here's that change, Shiva squat. Bend your knees, right knee taps the left calf. Inhale, lengthen up. 2 more times, Shiva squat. Bend your knee, sink your hips. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen up. Pause here in that standing split or toppling tree. 1 more full breath in. Feet together, forward fold. Breath into halfway lift. Exhale, empty and fold. Left leg in towards the chest, one-legged mountain. And take your time, figure 4, bring that leg across, bend your knees, sink your hips. About 2 or 3 more breaths, option to maybe play with a twist. And slowly begin to unwind, come back into that one-legged mountain, maybe straighten the left leg, extending it forward. And just passing through warrior 3, send the left leg back. You can airplane the arms. Working towards that capital letter T, keep pressing strong to the right leg to lift the right hip up, square the left hip down. High crescent lunge, bend into your right leg, step it back, inhale. And this time, chaturanga on your exhale, plant the hands, high to low plank. Breath into upward facing. And breath out, downward facing. Full breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, we'll bring the gaze forward past your fingertips. And bend your knees. You can walk, step, or float top of the mat. We'll either meet in standing or maybe seated. We'll close our class with a few breaths. And take a moment to land. Maybe close the eyes if you'd like. Hands can come to heart center. We'll take 5 breaths. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. and exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Last breath filling up through belly, ribs, chest. Sip in a little more air and hold at the top. Open mouth, let something go. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you today. If you enjoyed this class, please consider giving me a rating, and I hope to be with you next time you're on your mat.